And then we secretly rooted for the villain.
Everything I've got at him, and it doesn't even...
What are those?
What are those? Okay, sorry. I got a little caught up there. I mean, this version of Hades?
And you are wearing his merchandise!
His merchandise! Hades said calmly. Not every hero deserves the cheer, and not every villain deserves the boo. Somewhere between childhood and adulthood, you rewatch these movies and something shifts. Here are 8 times villains we were secretly rooting for. Think of the most disrespected man in animated history. There's this one guy. Remember? For years, the internet treated Ken like he was the problem. But let's actually look at this man's life for a second. Ken has a girlfriend. He has yogurt night scheduled. That's it. That is literally all he wants. A nice evening, some yogurt, and a relationship that doesn't involve insects. And then Barry B. Benson shows up.
And he happens to be the nicest bee I've met in a long time.
Long time? What are you talking about? Are there other bugs in your life?
Are there any other bugs in your life? This conversation alone would break any man. Your girlfriend, your long-term partner, is out here defending a bug, a bee. And by the way, not just defending him, skipping your yogurt nights.
Better go, because we're really busy working.
But it's our yogurt night.
Oh, bye-bye.
Why is yogurt night so difficult?
Ken, brother, we felt that in our souls. Imagine this bee suing the entire human race and smirking at you from your own chair. Here's the thing, Ken isn't wrong about a single thing. He correctly identified that his girlfriend has emotionally checked out of the relationship for an insect. He correctly identified that Barry was sitting in his chair, clinking his glasses, laughing at him. His only crime is that he cared too much. He's not the villain, he's the victim of the most absurd romantic betrayal in movie history. We weren't rooting for Barry to win the lawsuit. We were rooting for Ken to just get his yogurt night back. Now, the smoothest shadow man I know.
Fish everywhere! The bayou, the quarter, bring him to me alive. I need his heart pumping.
The one and only Dr. Facilier. And man, oh man, I never fully realized until now the absolutely irresponsible quantity of drip this man has. So much drip he needed to pay it back in souls. But let's look at the full picture before you judge him or me, okay? Facilier is a man in 1920s New Orleans who has been overlooked and underpaid his entire life. He's poor and a victim of this terrible society. And then Prince Naveen waltzes into town.
I buy everyone here a drink! With what?
A royal who has never worked a single day, got cut off by his own parents for being irresponsible, is now actively looking for a wealthy woman to leech off so he can keep partying. And yeah, that is the hero of the story. But Facilier? He sees exactly who Naveen is immediately. Born on third base, thinks he hit a triple.
Gentlemen, enchanté. A tip of the hat from Dr. Facilier. How y'all doing?
Facilier decides, nope, not today, not in my city. His methods are dark, sure. The voodoo is a lot, and yes, I know, the friends on the other side thing is a red flag. I also acknowledge that. But to be honest, he is actually just trying to redistribute that wealth. He is the literal embodiment of Eat the Rich. When he sings about his dreams of being the one in charge, you can't help but think, yeah, he'd probably run the city better than the guy who spends his time playing the ukulele. It's one of the best roles Keith David has brought to life. Moving on to the next villain.
The little daughter of his, she may be the key to Triton's undoing.
Right, Ursula. Growing up, she was the villain, no doubt. The ultimate master manipulator. A poor, unfortunate soul who preyed on the innocent. But watch again with adult eyes and the whole story just flips completely. Ariel is 16 years old. She sees a man, unconscious, on a boat, and suddenly decides she's in love.
Oh, he's very handsome, isn't he?
Oh, he's very handsome, isn't he? And just like that, she now wants to abandon her family, her kingdom, her entire species, and sign away her voice for a guy whose name she doesn't even know yet. Ursula doesn't chase her down, she doesn't even trick her. Ariel swims to Ursula's cave and knocks on the door by herself?
You'll have your man. Life's full of tough choices, isn't it?
Honestly, maybe I need to try that strategy to get you to subscribe to this channel. But what Ursula does is not manipulation. That's a businesswoman closing a deal on a client who walked in off the street. Ursula lays out the terms clearly. She warns her. She even gives her 3 days. And let's talk about the political situation here. King Triton runs the entire ocean like a military state. He even destroys Ariel's entire collection because he doesn't like her hobbies?
Going to get through to you, and if this is the only way, so be it.
Ursula was banished from the kingdom, exiled, and built her own operation from scratch in a cave. I don't call that villainy. I call that a businesswoman. If Ariel had read the contract, gotten the kiss, and followed through on her end of the deal, there's no conflict. There's no story. There's just a very satisfied sea witch who upheld her end of the agreement. Ursula was bossing too close to the sun. And honestly, we need to respect the hustle. Now, we can't talk about villains who we were secretly rooting for without mentioning a side character who deserves his flowers. Tom. Yeah, the one from Tom and Jerry. For decades, the story was simple. Tom is the bully and Jerry is the helpless little mouse just trying to survive another day. That's the narrative we were handed. Too simple? I'd suggest you watch again. This alone should say enough, but let's look at the situation. Tom is a house cat. His one job, the only reason he has a roof over his head and a bowl of milk, is to keep the house mouse-free. That's the whole contract. One mouse, one job. Jerry, meanwhile, is a squatter who steals food, destroys expensive crockery, and builds traps so elaborate they would make the kid from Home Alone look like an amateur. And then he laughs. Every single damn time. While Tom's face is shaped like a frying pan, while Tom is falling down the stairs, while Tom's tail is on fire, Jerry is laughing on the other side. Half of the time, Tom doesn't even want to eat Jerry. He just wants him to leave so he can take a nap without a bowling ball landing on his head. Tom is the patron saint of people who just want a quiet afternoon and never, ever got one. Now let's talk about the political nightmare that is Agrabah. We really need to take a cold, hard look at this.
Would like to see how snake-like I can be.
Meet Jafar. I mean, who else could it be? The Sultan, you know, the ruler of the entire kingdom, spends his days stacking toy towers and feeding crackers to a parrot. This man is in charge of a nation, but he has the emotional bandwidth of a golden retriever and the focus of a child at a birthday party. So who is actually running the country? Yes, Jafar, the royal vizier. Manage the economy? No problem. Diplomacy? Military? Everything? No problem. And this while the Sultan is busy doing Sultan things. Sir, the Sultan is stacking toy towers, but the entire kingdom is falling. You've been the smartest person in every room for 20 years, and you still have to bow to a man who thinks Prince Ali is real because he arrived on a parade float. Is a coup ideal? No. Is it deeply understandable after 2 decades of carrying an incompetent boss while getting zero credit? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying we've all probably been Jafar at some point. Tired, overlooked, and one bad day away from snapping entirely. He spent his whole life working his way up the political ladder, only to be stuck serving a man who can't even decide what his daughter should do for lunch without a prompt. Now let's talk about a modern masterpiece of villainy.
Dr. Olivia Octavius.
Or should we call her Liv? First of all, the design? Pure aura from the first second. The inflatable tentacles? Genius. But why do we secretly root for her? Dr. Olivia Octavius from the Sony Spider-Verse is genuinely the most competent person in this entire movie, and nobody gives her a single ounce of credit for it. While Kingpin is making every decision with his feelings and his grief and his whole situation, Liv is the one actually making the multiverse work.
All we have to do is kill a couple of spiders, and the Collider will bring your family back. As many families as you want.
She's brilliant. She's enthusiastic. She is clearly having the absolute time of her life. The way she's explaining the total collapse of the space-time continuum while simultaneously dismantling Peter Parker, or the way she just moves through the multiverse?
Who did that?
This is a woman at the top of her game. She's a scientist who decided that ethics committees and safety protocols were just slowing her down from her best work. Is that ideal? Okay, maybe not entirely, but is it relatable for anyone who's ever had a genuinely great idea blocked by people who don't understand it? You decide. If the Spider People had just let Liv cook instead of breaking her equipment every 5 minutes, she would have sorted the entire multiverse out by Tuesday afternoon. And now moving forward to the only shady, fast-talking car salesman I've ever liked.
Hey, I only need a few seconds, and I'm a fast talker, all right? You little W, may I call you Herc? You seem to be constantly getting in the way.
Hades. The equivalent of burned out, underpaid, underappreciated, and overworked. Hey man, I would be a villain too. But let's look at the facts here. Zeus gets Mount Olympus, sunshine, parties, lightning bolts for fun, an incredible social calendar, and infinite power. And Hades? He gets the underworld, darkness, dead people, for eternity, with pain and panic as his entire staff.
How sentimental. You know, I haven't been this choked up since I got a hunk of moussaka caught in my throat. Huh?
I just realized that the most unrealistic thing about this movie is probably the idea of Zeus being a good guy. Hades has been managing the dead for millennia with 0 days off, no sunlight, and 2 subordinates who cannot complete a single task without causing a catastrophe. And every time he gets close to his one goal, a seat at Olympus, a little sunlight, basic recognition, his nephew shows up and ruins everything.
Guys? Olympus would be that way. And I think I'm gonna like it here.
But the thing is, Hades didn't even choose darkness. He was literally assigned this job. He didn't wake up one day and think, you know what sounds great? Eternal darkness and dead people. Zeus handed him the worst shift in the history of the cosmos, and he just learned to work with it. The sarcasm? Coping mechanism. The hair bursting into flames?
Okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
That's what happens when you've been saying, I'm fine, for 3,000 years, and you are really, truly not fine. He's the most underappreciated middle manager in the history of mythology. And you know what? He deserves better. A lot better. So whether it's Ken just wanting one peaceful yogurt night, Hades surviving 3,000 years on the worst shift in the cosmos, or Ursula running a business from a cave, sometimes the villain is not the bad guy in the end. Sometimes they're the ones saying what the rest of us are already thinking.